生看，确实男生会看这些东西。This one's HP and attack. Merge. Merge again. Use emblems have been returned. Returned. Okay, gold. Zapdos. Golden Zapdos.
OpenClaw documentation. And the OpenClaw documentation is basically like where all of the solutions are to your problems. Because like if you run into an error, it's like a very high likelihood that somewhere in the docs there's a solution to how you're going to solve this. But obviously you don't want to go in here and click through it and search for the search for the answer yourself. So what you can do is go to this site called Contact7, which is just a site that like has up-to-date documentations. Search for OpenClaw and just click this link here with the docs. So they have a compressed version of the documentation basically. You can copy that and go back into
movement
your
speed,
here,
1L
add
content
that as a file. So add it in here and then save it. So I've already saved it here.
Yellow's movement
and
speed.
What this does is it makes the answers a lot better, because normally Claude will, if you ask it something about OpenClaw, it can give you the right answer, but it often just makes something up if it doesn't really know. It doesn't always go and check the docs by itself through its web search feature, and so just adding the docs here is a lot more robust. So for example, I can say now, how do I pair my Telegram? And you'll see here that it will, the first thing it does is let me check the project knowledge and Contact7. So it will actually go and check the context there to give you the answer.
This is really smart. I wish I knew this, because I would just like.
We usually have a huge folder of files locally on your machine, and if you want to do that in the cloud, it's like super cumbersome. Like you basically need to like switch upload those files all the time, switch it around, copy and paste, and so this made it really useful for coding. And over time, I think people started realizing that there are all of these other cool use cases too, like marketing, and that's kind of starting to become more of a hot topic now, I'd say. Okay, so now what is then actually this next stage, which is OpenClaw? Like, how is OpenClaw actually different from Claude Code? I would say one of the main differences is that the communication layer is different. Like, you can communicate with your OpenClaw through these apps like Telegram, WhatsApp, Slack, and so on. So they're very open about that. You can bring it into any of your chat applications. Whereas with Claude Code and the other tools, you're locked into that ecosystem, right? They also, just like Claude Code, it also has memory and context. It also has tools, although there are also more built-in tools than Claude Code, I'd say. It also has this read-write files locally capability. And then one more thing that is really makes it stand out and makes it different from Claude Code is this heartbeat and crons. And so heartbeat is essentially like a 30-minute timer that just continuously makes your OpenClaw kind of alive. Like every 30 minutes it comes alive and it does something for you. So it really makes it kind of like this living thing almost. And the other thing is also it has cron jobs built in. So you can schedule tasks, and you can say at 8 p.m. I want you to do this and this, and it will run and do that for you.
So where do you see Claude Cowork in this spectrum of stuff? I saw today that there's a new research preview that came out from the Anthropic team. It's called Dispatch.
Mm-hmm.
Basically a persistent conversation with Claude that runs on your computer, so you can message it from your phone and then come back to finish work. So it feels like Claude is sort of moving towards the direction of OpenClaw. So I'm just curious where you see it in the spectrum.
Totally, yeah. So I think Claude Cowork was basically just, they realized that Claude Code is really awesome, and then they wanted to put a nicer interface on it so that regular people will also want to use it. So they kind of built Claude Cowork and put that in the app with just a nicer UI. but under the hood, it's basically the same as Claude Code. And then when OpenClaw came out, because it was so hyped and like so popular, they realized that okay, like we kind of need to build something that's similar to that too. So we're gonna start building some of the features and adding that. And so throughout the last like 2 or 3 months since OpenClaw started taking off, they've been building these features like the one that you mentioned, Dispatch, which they released yesterday, which is essentially like you can talk to Claude Cowork through your mobile phone, and that is kind of the feature that OpenClaw has, one of its standout features, which is that you can bring it anywhere. And so what I do expect to happen is that like Claude Code and Claude Cowork and so on, they will all build like their own kind of versions of OpenClaw.
Cool.
Yeah.
So basically, how do you decide between OpenClaw and Cowork? If someone's listening to this, like why should they use OpenClaw over Cowork?
Right now, OpenClaw is definitely still more powerful. It has more of these like interesting features built in, like the ones we're going to go into in a bit. Claude Code is still more limited, but over time, I think they will be relatively similar, or Anthropic and all of the big players are going to have their own kind of versions of OpenClaw, but OpenClaw will be like just the open source version. So it then kind of becomes a question. It's like, why would you use Linux over Windows? So there are just like some advantages over open source. It's more flexible, and people just like it. People can contribute to it, and so on.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, the thesis is basically that it's more powerful ultimately because you have the backing of the open source community contributing to it. It's more customizable. So that would be one main reason why you go to OpenClaw. But yeah, let's continue.
Yeah. Cool. So then let's get into this optimized setup. So you might have tried installing OpenClaw. It's like technically not super hard to do the initial setup. You basically need to go to the website here and copy this command and paste it into terminal and then follow the onboarding. But where most of the people then get stuck is when they then start using it, and then like all kinds of errors pop up and things break and they don't know how to fix it. And so these 10 steps I'm going to go through now are to help you just make your OpenClaw setup a lot better. And the first thing I want you to do is to establish a so-called troubleshooting baseline before you do anything else. And basically what I want you to do is go into your Claude desktop app or web as well. Go into projects. You can obviously use ChatGPT 2 if you want to. Go into the projects feature, they have that too. And then just create a new project, call it OpenClaw support. And inside of this project, you'll want to upload the OpenClaw documentation. And the OpenClaw documentation is basically like where all of the solutions are to your problems. Because like if you run into an error, it's like a very high likelihood that somewhere in the docs there's a solution to how you're going to solve this. But obviously you don't want to go in here and click through it and search for the answer yourself. So what you can do is go to this site called Contact7, which is just a site that like has up-to-date documentations. Search for OpenClaw and just click this link here with the docs. So they have a compressed version of the documentation basically. You can copy that and go back into your project here and just add that as a file. So add it in here and then save it. So I've already saved it here. And what this does is it makes the answers a lot better, because normally Claude will, if you ask it something about OpenClaw, it can give you the right answer, but it often just makes something up if it doesn't really know. It doesn't always go and check the docs by itself through its